All right, all right. Heraldo Energy, today is the 13th of June, 2018. Success, failure. Failure is success if you want to learn from it. How was my day yesterday? And while I'm opening my tab, I can tell you that I'm in a really weird mood. And I'm also experiencing quite some shifts in my mood over the last few days. And it is a mixture of very excited and then at times really struggling hard. And also I'm not sleeping much. So, but it's not because I go to bed late, but rather, and I can also talk about yesterday here, it's rather that I wake up in the middle of the night, and this is so the combination of lack of sleep and spending a lot of time with deep thinking in terms of visioning and big dreams and stuff like that. I am experiencing weird mood swings, and I find them somehow exhausting, but I also see a big purpose in doing so and actually going through this. And I do want to also find ways of making it easier on myself and enjoying it more, but I don't want to compromise on my expectations. So I want to have my expectations and new strategies. If you have some feedback on that, then I'd love to hear it. All right, so what was happening yesterday in my day? I had some Puerto real estate visits. I was looking at some apartments, especially one that is my favorite right now. And what I really like is that it is a safe and solid thing from my perspective. It is not the cheapest on the market. It's not the best ROI, but it is something that I can see myself spending time in and letting it out to other people, which is a good thing that I have this combination, because that is hard for me to find due to my weird expectations and preferences and stuff like that. The alternative would be slowing down. The alternative for me would be to find something that is just a solid investment where I don't have that personal expectation involved. And I don't know the market here good enough to have right now as it is. I don't have the trusted people and the market know-how to do that here. So that's not an option here. So what I was looking at was the other side, and that's something that I learned this week. All right, so I looked at multiple apartments, and one of them my favorite, and then I shifted to a very social mode, and I was talking to people and practicing my Spanish, having funny conversations. I saw a philosopher's dove, a dove sitting on a stone, just like a statue, like the Greek statue, the deep thinker. And that was funny. And I was talking with other people. I met a woman on the beach who was in a wheelchair, who has multiple sclerosis. And I was talking a lot with her about life and its implications and what happiness and her experiences of that, and much more. So then later on, I also moved into groups of other people, that because I wanted to get to know more of the people in this area, and especially in Puerto. And just also I was in a mode where I wanted to have some social connection and like that. So at some point I was lying in between a group of girls, like 3 girls, and I was just in their midst. And what was happening is that I really had a great combination there in this group, because one of these girls was very snappy and bantery and very sharp and more of the telenovela witty comment kind of girl. She was a red hair, and she was very she was also beautiful, and I really saw how I engaged with these 3 girls very differently. The other was a girl who was very like open-hearted and very how can I put this, like excited eyes open for the miracles of life. And the third one was more on the calm and more or less a solid and passive side. And that was a cool mix, because I really engaged all 3 of them in their individual manner, and they too enjoyed this big time. So Also, when it comes to the superficial level, like when it comes to my Spanish, I was having a great conversation with the girl with the very heartful girl. So I called them Fire, Fire for the snappy one, Water for the lovely one, and Earth for the solid down to earth one. I can also tell you the names right now, but I don't think this is important for you. If you want to know them, I can tell you. But that's what I ended up with, and I want to make this video a little longer today because I really love sharing the story right now. So I'm breaching this. If you don't want to, stop. All right, so I had this great conversation with these three, and when it comes to my Spanish, while I was having a great conversation with her, and she was very patient, and so with Water Girl, and she was very patient, and she was very empathic and interested mutually in this case, and she was definitely the favorite person for me in this group, but I liked the combination a lot. And Fire was interjecting whenever I made mistakes, and she was too nice enough to really correct me or just somehow hint. Then she was very, boom, it's supposed to be like this. And she enjoyed her role as the corrector, as the judge, and by throwing out funny comments. And I did the same. I was shotgunning her, and we had a great banter going on while I was having a very heartful connection with Water, and the calmness next to me on the right side of Earth was somehow like a backup. Her witnessing the whole thing and enjoying whatever was happening. And that was a cool experience. And then later on, I wanted to head to a bar where I previously arranged with two others who work there to meet up with them. But on the way there, I met other people, and I never reached the bar. And what I ended up with is spending the whole night until I missed the last bus, and then on one of the people from one group that I met, they took me all the way to here where I'm staying, and that was a great night, a great day. I enjoyed it a lot, and I also had during the ride home, I had a great connection with the group of people who were there doing a tour around the island, and that was amazing. And I got so much feedback of like feeding my ego and my self-confidence here too, in terms of what a special person I am. And I reminded myself of one something that I reminded myself of something that I'm taking a look if this actually works. Probably too dark. I reminded myself of the Spain holiday that I once made, and because also yesterday I was using under 5 euros for the whole day, not intentionally, but it just happened that way. I was perfectly willing to. Oh yeah, it's really dark. I was perfectly willing to also expend something to have get a room there and to buy something. I was not eating anything at all apart from my breakfast before I went to that trip, and also that was something that was super easy for me. I was just drinking some water, and I could go on forever now, but that's basically something that I spent my time with yesterday. What about today? Oh, and in the evening, I also had a short, was it in the evening or today? I'm a bit confused right now. But what I do know is that I had also a short conversation. I think I don't remember yesterday. I'm right now a little confused or confusing myself because I'm already thinking about today. I had a short conversation with Corinna. Oh yeah, I shared yesterday some stuff. I remember. Anyway, today I also had a short conversation, and I'm not really managing to bring across these things. So what am I focusing on for today? And I can check. I can tell you that I am working on two things. One is to continue my vision, which I have finished all the blocks, and now I'm trying to get to the next level, compiling it in a different way. And the second thing is that I will spend time merging all of my digital different ideas. I have so many spread across things that I want to somehow zoom in, merge, and just like a reactor, I am looking for the fusion that or fusion or fission, so that at some point the whole thing will just take off, and I will take off with it. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I wish you a legendary day. If you have some feedback, as always, I'd love to hear it. And I will leave you with the joke of the day, which is head to head. What did one hat say to the other? You stay here, I'll go on ahead. All right, I hope to see you soon.